Alrighty, hello YouTube, welcome back. We are at Oshkosh 2026. We are at the Flyleds, or as they say, the Flyleds, right?
Either or.
Either or.
Yep.
Over here with Paul right now. Paul, wanted to have you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your experience serving the experimental aircraft community with your light offerings, and tell me what you have to offer here.
Yeah, so my name is Paul McVitty. We live in Melbourne, Australia. About 12 years ago, I helped a friend build his van's RV10. At that time, I had absolutely no idea what a Clico was or how a rivet worked or what you did with it. But yeah, I had 3.5 years or so building that 10 and absolutely loved that process. Out of that, or during that time, I developed an LED position and strobe light package for his plane. I made circuit boards that fit into the corner wingtip, and yeah, Andrew was really happy with that. And actually, it was about a year of him hassling me to saying, you know, people are going to love to buy this kit, and I didn't think he would be. I didn't think anyone else would want it. And 11 years later, I've sold about 2,000 of them. So he was right. So yeah, the ethos has been for us that you're crazy enough or talented enough to be building an airplane. I'm going to teach you that soldering a circuit board and doing some wiring is no more difficult than getting 10 rivets in a row nice and neat. So it's just another skill to learn.
Yeah, I noticed, so I guess backtracking, I noticed before we came over here, I was walking through home builds, and I want to say the large majority, it seems like, especially ones that were built in the past years here, have your kit on them. And I noticed early on in the build process on Vans Air Force, anytime someone asked a question about lighting or they're comparing their options, there was always someone who immediately chimed in. It seems like you've done something well there with creating that culture without having to be overly abrasive, sale. It seems like you offered a product that filled a need within the community.
Yeah, being in Australia where our time zone's slightly different, and yeah, we find that, you know, I wake up in the morning and I'll check exactly that situation. You know, there's half a dozen people responding to that person before I get a chance, and yeah, quite often I'll say after that, if you still have any other questions, I'm here to answer them for you. So yeah, it's wonderful that I get my customers flying my flag, so to speak. So,
yeah, it is neat. And I know when we were considering lighting options, we were here in 2024. We were chatting over here at the booth. I took a lot of your time. I know you were very patient going over all my questions then. We were talking about the Works kit, and that was what we were likely going to be going with. But it seems like you filled some kind of a need between then and now. You have a new product to launch. So you can tell me a little bit more about the problem that you're trying to solve with this newer product compared to the Works kit, and I guess introduce it?
Yeah, the Works kit has been incredibly popular. We've sold about 1,000 of our Essentials kit and about 1,000 of the Works kit. We're finding more and more though, we offer a quick build service or a soldered by us kit service where I will do all the soldering for them and ship them completed circuit boards. So I'm reading into that there's an awful lot of people that either don't have the desire or they're time poor. They'd rather just have the quick build option. Still selling lots of those kits, but I kind of figured, okay, I'll make a product that people can just literally screw into place. The Mach 2 has been a 2-year project for me to get launched. I'm really proud of the work that's gone into it. I've had some help from some people who are far better at CAD work than I am. I like to say my CAD skills are about crayon level, okay. But yeah, so I've had some help with the housing design, but here we are for the RV10 version as well. But the concept with this one is that it comes with a mounting bracket that uses a cutting guide, so hold it up against the wingtip, use a Sharpie to draw around it, and then Dremel out the fiberglass work, rivet the bracket to the wing, put this in the wing and screw it in, and you're basically done. We think you'll be able to install the Mach 2 in your wings in about 1 hour.
Wow. And where was it with the Works kit previously?
Let's call it a day. I think this will appeal to, well, A, I think it looks a whole lot nicer, but B, it's going to appeal to people who, especially to those who are getting building assist programs. Time is money. If it can be put in 1 hour, then, you know, that's less billable hours for them as well. So, and yeah, it's a nice end result.
Very cool. What would you say was the most challenging part of the design process for this? And what would you say is the most, I guess, what also could be the same answer, rewarding? Like what are you most proud of when it comes to the Mach 2 here?
Yeah, very proud of the end result. The biggest challenge literally This works kit model is for the RV6, and it's showing it's about...
Welcome to Oshkosh.
Welcome to Oshkosh, yeah. This is a model of the RV7 and RV8 wing, and it's about 6 inches wide versus the RV10, which is about 4.5 inches wide. By bringing the lights forward, we ended up with a whole lot less real estate to squeeze everything into. So it was a real challenge to make everything fit and fit underneath the clear lens as well. So it forced me to find new LEDs. So for example, we've used these LEDs for the last 10 years. They still work beautifully, but these guys are, you know, 1/10 of the size and still the same brightness. So that's just what's happening with the generation change over the years. So,
and that's something I noticed, the massive real estate here for the position markers. You're able to squeeze that in into that little strip there, so it's the same brightness.
Correct.
That's incredible.
Yep.
That's neat.
Yep. I mean, these guys were chosen, I mean, that's the size of the place we had to fill, so why not fill it? The idea of using these LEDs is they were easy to solder. Part of the works kit ethos again was teaching people, and so I mean, you have to build the wing kits as well as the circuit board or the controller board. I get people to build the easy to handle components first. They're actually almost harder to solder because they take a lot more heat out of the soldering iron. But by the time the customers have finished the wing kits, then they can do the controller board, and it's a piece of cake. It's finer to use. So.
Okay.
So then the bigger difference with the Mach 2 is that it's all fully soldered. We use fully surface mount components on this circuit board, so there's no soldering required. We will look at in the future of having this fully completed in a box ready to go, but at the moment we ship it in broken down format, so you just have to screw the light modules together and plug a few cables. It should take 10 minutes to assemble with a Phillips head screwdriver.
And then what models are supported with this? What series of vans?
So today this model fits the RV10 and the RV14 wingtip. We knew that was going to be the biggest challenge because of the small size. So we're working on a bigger size that will effectively fit this space here for the RV7 and RV8 with the current model wingtip. So the current model is 20 years old now. It's called the 715-1. The previous models is the earlier 715 or the Batwing wingtips. It's smaller again, so the Batwing wingtip is smaller than the RV10 again, so we're just not going to be able to make a kit for it.
Okay.
And the same with the RV9. It's that same small size. We just don't think we'll be able to make it work. So today the RV7 and the RV10 14. Coming soon for the RV7 and 8. This is a demonstration of how we work with a tail dragger model as well. So for those building RV14 tail draggers, we have a light tilted downwards for a tail dragger, and this has been one of the things that's been really popular with our light range. There's so many lights that people put in that as soon as the tail comes down on the ground, you lose all of your lights. You're shooting at the trees instead. So we've got this light tilted downwards by 20 degrees, so that gives you light down the runway and down the taxiways, no matter which phase of flight you're in.
Very cool. And is that user adjustable, or is that something they decide ahead of time before placing an order?
So for the 10, it's fixed now. Yeah. The 14A is a model that we will have out in the next month or two. Okay. And then with the RV7 and 8 wing, it'll be user adjustable.
Very cool.
It'll be all in the one because we'll have the extra room there to put the mounting pegs in both positions.
Okay. And then as far as installation goes, I guess real quick, a lot of my viewers are doing the Dynon Advanced Flight Systems panel.
Yep.
I know in the past you offered you currently offer a plug-in piece for the ACM that handles changing wires, doing some sort of voodoo magic in the background.
Thank you.
Does that still apply here with this kit?
Yeah, no. So the works kit is the left wing, the right wing, and the controller board. Instead, the Mach 2, all the electronics is in the wings. So they'll operate in standalone mode or with a single wire connecting between the wings and the tail. They'll synchronize together. So no extra controller board required for the ACM. The wiring colors that we use are exactly the same as in the standard wiring harness diagrams. So yeah, no changes required with that.
Very cool.
The one thing that our lights, or that the Mach 2 does not have, is wigwag mode. And we're figuring exactly that customers that are buying this are going to be buying a Garmin system with a GAD 27 or an ACM from either Advanced Panel, Advanced Flight, or from Dynon. Or if they're still going with a VPX, then either of those three devices will wig-wag the lights for you based on airspeed.
Okay.
So I love the keep it simple philosophy where you just turn the lights on and forget about them until you come home again and turn them off. So yeah, let the devices do the wig-wag for you.
Very cool. Okay, and then any special, so for instance, I guess on our build, we're going with this light. It's very appealing to me. I think at this point of the build, I've done enough of the stuff where I told Amanda with homes, I'm tired of learning trades. Not that I don't want to learn to solder. It's just I have so much mental capacity, so much time in the build and whatnot. This is very appealing to me, and I can focus my energy elsewhere. Any special considerations though with our build? Is there anything, or is it really just follow your plans and wire it up?
I'm hoping it's as plug and play as they get. The instruction page at this point for the actual installation process is one page, which should just be put the bracket on the wing, cut the hole out, attach the bracket, and put the light in. It should be that simple.
Sounds like you know what you're doing. You have things figured out. I know we were working on the RV15, offering lights for that. Is that correct?
When the first prototype came here a couple of years ago, I currently have our tail dragger max light, which has been extraordinarily popular for people with tail dragger aircraft because you have light in both phases, again, just like the way that one was set up. I could see that this wasn't going to fit in the RV15 wing because it's quite a lot shallower or narrower profile. So I had a chat with the engineers at the time, and a few months later I sent them this light. And to be quite honest, I didn't hear quite a lot from Vans up until when the new plane was coming to Oshkosh a couple of years ago, and there was my lights in the wings. And I thought, thank you very much. So it kind of makes sense. It's again, I think this is a game changer for people with lights. In the past, you'd aim one straight ahead and you'd aim one low, so you're kind of landing like this and taxiing like that. Having landing and taxi lights in both wings aimed correctly, I think our customers are telling us how much they love it. So
please tell us what Ryan told us about the lights.
Ryan has with the quote. Ryan is the chief engineer at Vans. I think he'd probably like that title. I think I got that right.
I think you're right.
Ryan Johnson, and his quote was that your lights light up twice as much runway as I need to land the RV15. So he's pretty happy with them as well. So
very cool. So where can people go to find out more about your products and to purchase them?
So Flyleds or Flyleds.com is our website. As said, we live in Australia, but we ship. I walk to the post office every day, and 90% of my parcels are going to the US. So we also have our distributors, our Flyboy Accessories. They're based in Indiana, so you can buy through them as well. They help us out if we have any issues or whatever. We'll send customers that way. So yeah.
So I guess last question for you: if someone was coming here and they're comparing all their options, all these different places they can go to buy lights. Why would they choose your lights over any of the competitors?
Our lights are priced quite keenly. I think most people agree with that one. They're a little bit unique, and certainly for Vans RVs and for other experimentals, they're great. Our lights are not designed to go into your average Cessna because they have a space constraint there quite often. So we're in the experimental market, but we think we've got a competitive product. And another great thing we love about coming to the show is that half of the people that are standing in line to talk to us are just there to say thank you. Well, I love your lights, and so again, we must be doing something right there. So.
Absolutely, cool. Well, I think that pretty much covered just about all the questions we want to ask you. Thanks for taking so much time, and looking forward to getting your lights installed on our 10, the Mach 2s. We'll probably, I guess, for the viewers out there, we're still a bit ways out from the final build being completed, so we will be covering the install portion of this at a later time. I wanted to get this video out to you guys now, but looking forward to getting it installed and working with your product. Cool. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.